So I've had a lot of shocks in my life, and I know a lot of famous people. And one day, the biggest shock of my life happened when I got this call. Okay. Prince would like to speak to you.
I go backstage, and this young lady knocks on the door, and she says, "Hi, I have someone who wants to talk to you and speak to you on the phone. Do you have a moment?" And I'm like, okay.
I left the White House under fire. Now, most people, when you're in the White House, they rush toward you. When you leave, trust me, your phone stops ringing. But the one phone call I did get was from Prince.
"Hello, Janelle. This is Prince." "I'm sorry, who?" "Prince." "Prince?"
And I shook my head and I was like, no, Prince Charles has already visited the Harlem Children's Zone. They were like, no, Prince. I was like, you mean the real Prince?
Like, yes.
He gets on the phone and he just says to me, I want to help you. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. I just want to help you. I'm going to give the Harlem Children's Zone $1 million out of this tour. And I said, wait, Prince, did you just say you're going to give us $1 million? But we're not going to tell anybody about it. He says, it'll ruin it if anybody hears. He says, if you have been blessed the way I have, you have to give back. And you're not to do so in a way that people say what a wonderful person you are.
85 to 95% easily of the people he helped have no idea he helped them. No idea. Would be stunned. You know, they went to some youth program, or there's some art program, or they were in legal trouble and their bill got paid, and they have no idea, because that's how he did it.
I believe that by keeping Prince's name out of it, it really did help them focus on the work that he wanted them to do. He did it from his heart. There was no hidden agenda for his giving. If you look at the charities that he funded, it was charities that focused on music, sports, and education for children in disadvantaged areas, because that's how Prince grew up. He grew up poor. And so that was his way of giving back, and he didn't do it because he wanted something or he wanted to benefit from it.
Questions from you? Give them. I got an email from someone that I knew. Her son had been ill, so we went to the hospital, you know, kind of to give her support. Once we left, I guess about 2 that morning or so, I guess my brother showed up. And when he came, the little boy was dying, and my brother flew in some doctors from the Mayo Clinic. The young man now is married. He has 2 children, and he owns his own business. And again, that's what makes me so proud of my brother.
When you have someone like Prince behind you, it's easy to be heroic, you know. You're Robin, but you got Batman that can come in at any point and deal with the situation. So it gave us a lot of confidence.
He was one of the first donors to Black Lives Matter. So it was really important in its symbolism, important in its very clear statement that he believed in what we were doing and that what we were doing was important.
I mean, he would find causes and he would try to get people to take action. So we decided to launch something called Rebuild the Dream, which is a precursor to the Dream Corps. We went on The View together, me and him and Rosario Dawson.
Why did you decide, okay, this is a charity I want to support, I want to team up with Van, I want to team up with Rosario for this one?
Well, mainly, like Van said, is that it's not political. We're at a place now in this country where we're going to have to work together and stop looking at each other's affiliation and start taking care of each other. I mean, it's desperate times.
Out of that whole thing ultimately came Yes We Code. And Yes We Code is a very special initiative because it really came out of his imagination. Like, what if kids from the hood could upload apps and not just download apps?
I actually started learning about computer science and technology through a hackathon at the Essence Festival. I've never done any app development before. That was my first time. As a young person, we often feel like we don't have a voice because we're told to stay in a child's place. We're told not to speak up. And for me, Being able to code what I wanted to code made me feel empowered. It made me feel like I had freedom over what I was doing because I could have created anything I wanted to create.
I don't think Prince wanted to save the world. I think what Prince wanted to do was to make sure that people's gifts and people's talents had a chance to shine. And I think he really hated the idea that because of your skin color or where you were born or your gender or whatever, that you were going to not be able to blossom.
I feel him in my spirit more than ever. He was a really big advocate for women owning and being in the position of power and not playing second fiddle and not dimming their light because they're in a room full of men, even if they're in the room with him. He was just a giver.
I learned at an early age my brother wanted privacy. But I think it's important for people to know this part about him. As hard as it is to tell, I just want people to know him for who he is.
If you need something, call me. We're supposed to take care of each other. Stop looking for credit. Everybody. That's what I want tonight.
You know, that's a part of his legacy I want to make sure people remember. The music will be there forever. The music will be there 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now. He's Mozart, but they may not remember that that same guy was spending just as much time every night on the internet finding problems to solve and sending help to people. But he did.
There's a group of kids and staff who will never forget this guy.
Thank you, Prince, for helping our kids at Crystal. Thank you, Prince.
Thank you for making our dreams possible.
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prince, for the incredible joy that you brought all of us, for all the great works that you've done. You'll be in our hearts forever.
Thank you so much, Chicago. Until we meet again, love, stay wild.